operational workaround for anything you might encounter, we can do that, and we do. So we figure out all these things that could go wrong, all the extra resources it's going to take to do these things that sound completely outlandish and impossible right now. But the truth is, accomplishing the near impossible is exactly what we do and what we just showed that we can do.
I don't really want to add anything to that because that was so perfect. I'm going to say one last little thing, which is I did have a little weird technical epiphany, Eric, while we were out there, which was we just went like 250,000 miles away. And I'm telling you right now, if we had a first flight lander on board that thing, I know at least 3 of my crewmates would have been in it trying to land on the moon. Like the jump, when you think about Apollo 8 went around the moon, 9 stayed in Leo, 10 almost landed on the moon, and I've talked to a few of those gentlemen in the past, and they said if they had enough fuel, they would have done it. It's not, I'm going to eat these words. It's not the leap I thought it was. Once we're around the moon, we're in the vacuum of space, we got a 6-off vehicle that's handling great. If you had given us the keys to the lander, we would have taken it down and landed on the moon. It is not the leap I thought it was. It's going to be extremely technically challenging, but this team needs to show up every day knowing it is absolutely doable, and it's doable soon.
This mission taught me that the unknown is way scarier than the known. Every single time we accomplished a mission test objective, we all looked at each other and were like, that actually went pretty well. That was actually not necessarily easy because it took a ton of work, but it was easy to accomplish as a team because we had put in the work. We know how to put in the work to make it accomplishable when the time comes.
Awesome.
I think, Eric, I'd like to add something that I think you're pulling at too is, I agree with everything that was said. We have to be willing to accept a little more risk than we were willing to accept in the past, and to trust that we will figure it out in real time. We're not going to be able to pound everything flat before we go. We're going to have to trust each other and crews and mission control to work through real problems. And it was very evident to us out there, like this went really smoothly, super smoothly. I'm not surprised. Extraordinary team, a lot of work was done in advance. But it was also very clear to us that it could get pretty bumpy. Yep. And whoever is going out there to do those things got to understand it could get real bumpy real fast, and it has to be ready to take that on.
Thanks. Hey, since everybody spoke, I'm going to just say one thing. Eric, it was awesome to hear you start this off by saying something was fun. Thanks, brother.
Okay, we'll take one more question here in the room and then head to our phone bridge. Mark, go ahead.
That's great. Mark Carreau with Aviation Week in Space Technology.
Awesome.
How much longer will you be in post-mission Johnson care, and have you found that to be a valuable part of the mission?
Oh.
That's a good question. So, the program we use for flying to and from the International Space Station is kind of the cut and paste what we started with, and then we whittled it away and tried to make it appropriate for this mission duration. So there is a dedicated 2-week period of medical checks, science collection, and strength and conditioning, rehabilitation, readaptation. And then there's out to 4 months where we're going to do the public affairs and appearance events. There's about a 45-day cutover where we're actually the person we work for will change. So there's a sort of a gradual redeployment or a gradual move out of the post-flight. But it started off with the same basic plan that we use for ISS, knowing that this is a short mission, so we may not need reconditioning for 30 or 45 days like I did post-ISS. And we've just been trying to tailor it. One reason, though, that it's really important, I felt like $1 million on Friday. Yep. So today I'm up to $1,006,000. But it's important for us to run these processes out because we are still making changes and learning ways that we're going to support the 30 and 45-day missions of Artemis 3, 4, 5. And so it's really important for us to keep practicing, keeping our heads in the game.
Yeah.
All right, we will head back to our phone bridge. Josh with space.com. Let's try this again.
Hi, Josh Dinner, space.com. Hope you can hear me this time. Can y'all hear me this time? Hello?
Yes, we have
you loud and clear.
Oh, excellent. All right. So I'm curious, as you have each been looking for the words to relay this experience to your family and friends and colleagues since your return, everyone has their own perspective of viewing the narration of their story. And I'm wondering, once Hollywood gets a hold of this story and makes the Artemis II movie that I'm sure will inevitably be made, what part of this mission needs to be told, in the most crucial, specific way possible? What part of this mission tells the story that Hollywood needs to get right?
I would just start by saying a movie wouldn't do it justice. It has to be a series. There's so much to talk about.
Okay, we will take our next question from.
Well, wait, we gotta honor that one a little. Just give us a second, Courtney.
I guess the thing that might be hardest to convey, no matter what the platform, would be how much it meant to us to bring everyone along with us, and how much it meant to us to hear that the mission had an impact. I cannot overstate how important that was to us. It was every bit as important as accomplishing the technical goals and being there for our NASA teammates, was to make this the world's mission and for it to have a positive impact on as much of the world as possible.
All right, our next question is from Marcia Dunn with the Associated Press.
Oh, hi, welcome back. Reed, for you, please. I was looking for a report card on the heat shield following reentry. What are you hearing on how it fared? Was there very much damage? Thanks.
It's a great question. It's, for sure, we need to see what NASA says on the data. They are going to do to this heat shield what they did to Artemis I, and we are going to fine-tooth comb every single, not even every molecule, probably every atom on this heat shield. But the four of us, when we got off the Navy ship, the USS John P. Murtha, we were getting ready to get on the helicopters, and I think we all kind of agreed that we heard that integrity was in the well deck there, and we did not feel right leaving that ship without doing two things. Number one, we wanted to see our spacecraft. We wanted to go look at that spacecraft. And number two, there was a gentleman who led the char loss investigation team after Artemis I, a single named Luis, but he managed a great team. And we heard he was on the ship, and I needed to hug that man. I needed to go see that man and thank him, because the data that they pulled from Artemis I think Artemis I is probably the most studied heat shield in the history of spaceflight, for sure the history of human spaceflight, maybe the shuttle in its early days, I don't know. But they figured out what was wrong with that heat shield. They determined root cause of that heat shield. And then they left it up to NASA to decide, are we going to fly a different heat shield, or are we going to change the trajectory and fly as is? And they gave us, NASA, the options to do what we thought was right. And we modified our trajectory. We came in with what's called a horizontal target line somewhere around 1,700 nautical miles. We were originally out at 2,300, and we were going to float through the atmosphere for a long time, but that was where the Artemis I heat shield was seeing problems. So we came in fast and we came in hot. And I will tell you, looking out the window that whole way in, it was a smooth ride. It was a very smooth ride. I think Ike and I maybe saw 2 moments of a touch of char loss. Certainly when we went up to the vehicle, there was a little bit of char loss on what's called the shoulder, which is kind of where the heat shield meets the structure of the cone shape of the spacecraft. But the bottom, we leaned under and looked at the bottom of that thing, and for 4 humans just looking at a heat shield, it looked wonderful to us. It looked great. And that ride in was really amazing.
All right, we'll take another question on the phone bridge from Anthony Leone with Spectrum News.
Hello, welcome back. Thank you for taking time to answer our questions today. We touched on a little about the future missions. What piece of advice do you each have for the future Artemis crew who will land on the moon again? Thank you.
Man, I'm taking up a lot of CO2 today. I'll keep this short. You have got to invest in each other. That's the number one thing I would say.
After that, I would tell them something that was shared with us from the crewed flight test, the Boeing CFT crew, ask more questions.
That's a great one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would say, in addition to those, remember that you are part of a team. Something that we do well is we always thank our teams for what they've done. And something I always add to that is congratulations, because to say thank you sometimes to me seems like there's an assumption there that we're the one that did it and everyone else supported, but that's not how I see it. I see it as we all are 100% teammates. If anything, we did the least. And congratulations. Say that every day to your teammates. You're probably the last one that got added to this team.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, that's a tough one to follow. I'd probably, if I had to give them some different advice, I'd pivot back to the technical and just that really getting to know the parts of your spacecraft that you could end up, alone. Just, we thought a lot, this crew, we spent a lot of time thinking about what if we don't have mission control and what are the critical things to keep us going long enough to get back in touch with mission control. And I think that always needs to be an area of focus.
Great.
Okay, we have time for one more question in the room. If I could get a raise of hands. Aaron?
Hi, Erin Winnick-Anthony for CBS Mission Unstoppable. For Christina, you said advice for the crew as a whole, but for the astronaut that's selected to be the first woman to walk on the moon, do you have any specific lessons learned or advice to pass along to them?
For me, I think the biggest word about all of the superlatives that you're going to encounter, all of the things that you're going to be asked to do, react to, be a part of, contribute to, is it's humbling. And if you remember that being part of a team is your main goal and the main thing that you put ahead of everything else, that when the world tries to make the accomplishment something different than what it really is, which is a team accomplishment, you will know, and the things that you say will reflect how you really see it.
And it's beautiful.
All right, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you to the Artemis II crew for your time today and for such an inspiring mission. And thank you to our media for your continued interest in NASA's Artemis II mission. We'll see you next time.